hats, the chapeau, a mainstay of men's fashions for decades, seems to have fallen out of fashion but is back on the upswing. There are only a very few people left on the planet that make hats and can explain to us why the hat makes the man. And I have one of them here. His name is Gary White. He calls himself the Custom Hatter. And let's find out why, indeed, the hat makes the man. This is Gary White. He is the Custom Hatter, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
You are the Custom Hatter is a business located here on the east side of Buffalo that is one of the only remaining businesses of its kind in the country. Is that correct?
Yes, Eddie. There's only a handful of us left that still practice the art of what we do here at the Custom Hatter, and in the entire world today, you've got approximately 16 or 17 master hatters.
Now, tell me, how does one get into making hats, custom hats?
And I apprenticed in Boston for 10.5 years to do my apprenticeship and opened up here at the Custom Hatter.
What makes some hats different than others?
The hat itself reflects a lot of gentleman's personality, depending on how the hat is creased, the way you wear your brim. For instance, the gangsters would always, let's say gangsters, Al Capone era, let's say, would always wear the hat to cover their eyes, and everybody said, boy, you look sinister. This way you couldn't see where they were going to shoot.
Where'd you find all these tools?
Oh boy, it came from all over the country. The machine you see to your left here came from a burned out sub-basement in a building in Boston. And that's 1,100 pounds of solid brass. Wherever I could find the tools available, I would buy them whenever I could and just accumulated a nice collection like a hobby.
So now what's going to happen to all this stuff when you're retired?
Actually, everything here has probably been willed to the Smithsonian Institute. Preserve the art of the craft that I practice.
How do people find you?
We're on the internet at www.customhatter.com, but it's quite an extensive website.
You've made a lot of hats for a lot of people, a lot of famous people, haven't you?
Yeah, I sure have.
How did they find out about you?
Word of mouth by doing good work.
You're being awfully secretive here. Did you sign some kind of a non-disclosure or something?
Yeah, actually we did. Actually, it started out years ago. We did a Broadway. The way it started, I was at my old location, and we did an off-Broadway production of The Cat in a Hat, and we actually duplicated the cat's hat. One of the hardest hats I ever made. And after that, it led to doing The Lost Capone on TNT. From that, it went to doing Guys and Dolls on Broadway. Then it led to doing, I believe at that time it was Dick Tracy or The Godfather. They were running parallel to one another. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, The Untouchables, Billy Bathgate, Wild West with Will Smith, Woody Allen. We've been doing all his hats for years. We Curse the Jade Scorpion. Oh my God, Thoroughly Modern Millie, that'll be here in Buffalo very shortly. Give myself a plug here. Be here yourself in Buffalo. That's all my headwear you see I'm wearing on the tour and on the current Broadway musical in New York City.
Geez, from a guy who doesn't want to mention any of the movies, the list goes on and on, huh?
Well, you know what, Eddie? I'm very fortunate and very blessed to have the craft that I have, and hopefully I can just get better at my craft as I get older.
What was the most difficult star that you ever had to deal with?
There's really been nobody that's been difficult. I think they really got an appreciation for the art that I practice. I remember we did Billy Bathgate with Hoffman. I happened to sit down at the lunch table with him when we were in Saratoga, and he looked at me across the lunch table because I was there for fittings, and he said to me, you know what? You know, the only other time I worked with a hatter was when they did Midnight Cowboy with John Voight, and they were in, that gentleman's name was Rubinacci. He was the best in New York, and he's long since gone. He said, you know, you really got a craft. You should be really proud of what you do. So it was a great compliment.
Whether it's a derby or a fedora, Gary White can tell you the right style hat for you. He can even make it for you. He is the Custom Hatter after all, so give him a call and see what he can do for you.